Chicago, day 2, Bolingbrook Golf Club, where the wind's been up, the pins have been nasty, and the leaderboard looks like a Hall of Fame reunion. DJ, Sergio, Phil, Brooks, and Rom are just some of the names at the top of the pack. There's no shortage of stories this week with Mito Pereira and Ian Poulter fighting for their LIV golf careers, while Lock Zone hopefuls like Cameron Tringali are aiming to make a final statement. We're here to chat about it all. Welcome to the Club 54 pre-round show. I'm your host, Christian Crosby, joined by 3-time PGA Tour winner, 4 Aces champion, and swag master himself, Pat Perez, and your favorite LIV golf analyst, my best friend forever, Jerry Faults. I love how you shake your head every single time I do that introduction, but I know you secretly love it, Jerry.
So disingenuous.
How are we feeling? Top of day. We had an incredible round one. Sergio Garcia, Dustin Johnson lead the way with a 4-under finish, but boy, do we have some big dogs chasing like Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm. I mean, could we ask for a better leaderboard? The competition is rising. We got 2 events left before the team championship, and I can tell because these guys are playing, and boy, the leaderboard is impressive. How are we feeling as we enter into round 2, boys?
Feeling like we're gonna get a great day out there. I mean, the crowds are massive today. The wind's up, the heat is up. It's going to be an extremely difficult round for these guys.
And here is the individual leaderboard as we enter into round 2 on Super Saturday. Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, 4-under finishes leading the pack. But boy, look at this list: John Rahm, Phil Mickelson, Brooks Koepka. It's going to be a fun day. Let's take a look at the team leaderboard now as we enter into our Saturday. Stingers GC. Love to see them at the top of the leaderboard. Sergio's Fireballs GC right behind, and 4 Aces in 3rd. Love to see 4 Aces surge, and we're going to talk about them a little bit later. But first, let's start with our leader, Sergio Garcia. 4-under finish, had a solid day. He seemed pretty happy about it, but he did have a little bit of a disappointing end to his day yesterday. How's Sergio looking?
Yeah, it depends on which hole these guys finish on. A lot of people are going to have disappointing ends with the shotgun start and the variability with which some of these holes play. Number 1 yesterday. Number 1, the opening hole as the general public plays it, was the hardest hole on the course, one of the hardest holes in the history of LIV golf. So there'll always be disappointing ends, but Sergio, he's hitting the ball well again. He started the year great. He went through a little bit of a dry spell, and he's starting to hit the ball well, and the putter's been cooperating all year.
Pat, you spent some time with DJ last night, I hear. How's he doing?
Yeah, I had breakfast with him this morning, and he feels good. He took a vacation last week, kind of got away from the game, kind of reset. He knows he wants to play well this week, next week, and then obviously the Aces want to win the team championship again. He's a good spirit cell. He's the same as always. He's calm, doesn't show much emotion, just kind of walks around, and but DJ played yesterday like I always expect DJ to play, and but again, he's come out of the gate hot before, and he's kind of struggled on the weekend. That is something that's got to change, especially with all those major winners that are around him right now. I don't know. He might have a little more motivation playing with Brooks today, but they're going to be. He's ready to go. He changed his wedges. He didn't like his wedge play yesterday, so we went back to his Cleveland wedges, and he's ready to go.
And he putted extremely well. And if that confidence builds throughout the weekend, then maybe he'll get over that hump.
Is that you?
Oh, so this isn't live. Okay.
I love it, Pat. Now, we got to talk about a guy named Phil Mickelson. Had an impressive day. He had a nice stretch of 4 birdies. He said he was totally happy with his day, but he wished he finished a little stronger. But Phil Mickelson looks good. I've
said it before many times, said it yesterday on our post-round show. Phil Mickelson hasn't lost too much pop in that swing at all. He still has plenty of power to compete with guys 20, 30 years younger. He's got the magic short game that's never going to leave him. He also has that one thing that you cannot teach. And it reminded me of when he was in his early 30s and hadn't yet won a major, had found a lot of different ways to lose them. And he didn't talk about winning one. He talked about winning multiple ones. He's got 6 and counting in his mind because he has that one thing you cannot teach in golf. The only thing you can't teach in golf, and that is self-belief.
And what about a guy who has probably the most to gain, John Rahm, in a great position to take that lead from Waco Neiman after Waco's day. Have you had any time with John, Pat?
I did. We didn't really talk golf, but I know John didn't have his best stuff yesterday. He hit 3 foul balls. Wedges weren't that good. Didn't really have a lot of great looks. But John being John, it looked like 75 and it turned into be 300. That's just the way John is. That's why he's the most consistent player on this tour, and it's why he's always in the leaderboard. He's always, he's averaging, 4th or 5th place all year. Hasn't gotten that win, though. That is the one thing that really upsets him, is that he has not won. Secretly, I know that he's not upset, but he's a little unhappy that Waco's won 5 times and he has not. I know that, you know, burns in him, but he'll be there. I mean, he'll get it together. He'll be fine.
I'd love to know what you guys talk about if you don't talk golf and you spend an hour and a half together at dinner. But Jon Rahm now has that door open that he needed open from Waco Neiman to continue pursuing that hope and that dream of winning the season-long championship, because if Waco doesn't get any points, Rahm finishes high up, he closes the gap. Rahm finishes as high as second and Waco doesn't get any points. That leaves Rahm in control of his own result next week. If he wins and he's less than 10 points behind Waco, he wins the team championship, or the individual championship.
Yeah, we have a super stacked leaderboard today. It's going to be exciting, to say the least, and we're hopefully going to hear more about what you and John talked about at dinner. But before we do, let's toss it over live to Rachel Drummond on the range. She's got front row seats. But first, before we toss it to Rachel, let's take a look back at round 1 from all of the action on Friday.
Just 2 events remain in the individual season. The final push starts in Sweet Home Chicago.
And it's hard to look past this man,
Sergio Garcia.
You know, obviously very happy with shooting 4 under. I'm happy with the round, and just gotta build on that.
Obviously Serge was playing really good.
4 birdies in a row. He's made 7. Dustin Johnson is surging up the pylon as well.
Anytime you shoot 4 under on the tough conditions, it's you got to hit some good ones. Got a little work to do though for the next 2 days.
Excellent day for Stinger GC.
Nice.
So right now, I think you guys got a 1-stroke lead.
Is that right? Holy
yeah.
That surprises the hell out of me.
Yeah.
6 under par.
How are you, Bermy?
I'm alright.
Well done.
Yeah, not bad for an old man. Honestly, the 4 of us are staying in a house together for the first time this season. The team spirit bodes to all 4 of us. We look at everyone on the leaderboard and we're like just rooting everybody on, and you can kind of feel that energy, you know.
Mito Pereira, desperate for points. He's in the relegation zone and he started brilliantly.
It's been a tough year, but I keep trying.
Amazing how some players respond when their back's against the wall.
Maybe during the year I was trying too much, so now I'm gonna just do my work, but just play a little bit more freely.
A whole lot of action following round 1, and with Waco Neiman's performance, he's opened the door for some exciting competition. Especially going to be exciting to see what Jon Rahm does. And look at the fans piling in for round 2. We didn't even talk about how crazy the fans have been this week. We'll dive into that and more here on the Club 54 pre-round show. But first, we're going to toss it over live to Rachel Drummond. She's had a front row seat to the action on the range. Let's get some insight from Rachel now. Rachel, to you.
How you doing, Christian? I have to say the wind is up yesterday. It's so hard to see on the coverage, but Pewey, who is Lucas Herbert's caddy, who had a great day yesterday, said that's about 20 miles per hour, which is about 2 clubs. So look out for that today on the coverage. Ball flight a little lower. So let's have a little look. Cam Smith, level par yesterday. Bogey avoidance is key round here. Mark Leishman had a great day. Brooks is one of the main stories, though, playing some great golf. Let's get an eye on him. Let's see if we can get Pete Cowan, actually. Pete, I know you're very busy.
What's that?
One of the best coaches in the world. Now he's #1 in a lot of metrics this week. He's absolutely ripping it. What's been the change?
Just mental. Simple as that. He's got his mind sorted out. Simple as that.
And have you seen anything, you know, new advice technically, or is
No,
it literally
nothing technical. Nothing at all.
between the ears?
Absolutely.
We know how it works.
Yeah, we
Have a
do.
good day. Oh, we're surrounded. Victor Cruz, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Now, I'm a massive NFL fan, and
Okay.
I'm very privileged to be talking to you. So you're a wide receiver,
Yes.
some of the best hands. How's that help your golf?
It doesn't help at all. I mean, it does help in terms of having hand-eye coordination, having an understanding of your body, knowing what your hands are supposed to do through a golf swing. But man, somehow it doesn't keep me from having too many bogeys during my rounds. So I'm just trying to figure out, that's why I'm here, trying to get some tips, trying to see how these guys swing. I'm also just a fan of the game over the past few years, man, and really excited to be here with the players and having a good time.
And you overcame some major setbacks in your career.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Just extreme focus, understanding that, like, you know, injuries doesn't mean you're out forever. getting your mentality in the right area so that you understand how to get back to form and to get back into shape and to really climb out of something that can be detrimental to your career. That's what life's all about as well. So I think if you can do it in sports, you can relay all of that over to your life as well.
Love it. Have a great time at LIV. Enjoy. Let's see who else we've got. Taylor Gooch had a great day. He's one of the best players in wind. Here with his coach, Boyd Summerhays. Shaped the ball both ways. Let's keep looking at him right now. I love his technique. The range is currently straight into the wind. He's got such a balanced setup, and I have to say that shot he hit into 18 at Valderrama was one of the most beautiful things, playing a nice little soft draw. Let's keep hoofing. We've got Tyrrell here. You ripping it?
Huh?
You ripping it?
Am I what?
You hitting it well?
No, never.
That's all we're going to get from Tyrrell. Every time. Do you know what? I thought sometimes they teach you in broadcast, if you just hold the microphone there, you sometimes get an answer. So that's what I wanted to do. Can we just pay attention here quickly to the crushers? Bryson is actually warming up at the other end of the range currently, but major gains with that golf ball. So expect some scary stuff from the man. Brandon Grace, how are you playing? How's it going?
Fantastic. We're here. It's blowing. It's going to be a fun day. Staying in out of the team. It's been phenomenal, so I can't complain.
Who won in the pitching contest?
Which one?
You and me.
Listen, I've paid my bets. You need to go speak to them.
We spoke with Burmy beginning of the week. They are rooting for a Stinger win. They're all staying in the same house this week. Let's watch Burmy and Captain Louis. He's got the bucket hat on. One of the most beautiful swings in golf. So orthodox at setup, club face square, slightly lower ball flight. Have you adjusted that driver down? Slightly lower ball flight, or is he playing it a bit lower?
Into the wind it would be, certainly. He's not a hard hit of the ball, though, by any stretch of the imagination. So.
This is pretty, uses the imagination. Let's see one more. And then we've got to finish up with the man DJ, playing excellent. Number 2 in putting. When he putts well, you know he's going to contend. Let's have a little look. Working here with Claude. Claude, how's it all going? All set?
I'm hitting it great.
Let's have a little look. Plays that fade. He is hitting it so good. Done a lot of work on his putting. And Mr. P. Reed, wanting to play well for that Ryder Cup spot. Boys, there's a lot going on today, but these conditions are fierce. So keep an eye on that today in the coverage.
Thank you, Rachel. Now, Rachel, before you go, with only 2 events left before the team championship and a stacked leaderboard, do you feel any extra tension or focus out there on the range?
Christian, there is a lot on the line, and everyone knows that if they're in that zone, you know, this could be the last time they're at LIV Golf League. So I'm certainly feeling that. I'm being very tactical with who I stand behind and who I talk to. But as always, there's so many storylines. So, and they've got to play well, but that's what it's about. The best players will find something when they need to.
Rachel, I love your range walks because I get to learn caddies' real names, because typically in professional golf, you don't know the real name unless you're the one paying them. So that's been insightful. But something even more insightful was what Pete Cowan told you at the beginning of your range walk, and that was, what's the difference been? And he said, between the years. How rare is it for a swing instructor, not necessarily a mental instructor or a sports psychologist, to say that about one of his players?
Jerry, you're so right, and I think that's what makes, you know, Pete Cowan one of the best coaches in the world. Sometimes you don't have to say anything. If you're saying lots, you can confuse the player. And when you've got a player like Brooks, you know, he's a major champion. He knows what to do, and the 15th club is the difference out here.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel. You're always giving us the insight we need. Enjoy the rest of your day out there on the range. And Jerry, unfortunately, you have to actually head to that. It's that time of the day.
Getting fired again.
Yeah, before you go, though, Jerry, we love to hear your last thoughts. You always give us some little bit of information that we love to hear. What you got for us?
I don't really have much wisdom today. You have to keep the spin off the ball. When it's breezy, swing easy. It's an axiom as old as time. You want to keep the spin off the ball in the wind, and that's not easy to do when you got these powerful guys out there.
Don't try to big word us, Jerry.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. Axiom, a big word. It's 5 letters.
Big word.
See ya.
We
All right, get out of here.
But, you know.
Thank you as always, Jerry. Stay with us here on the Club 54 pre-round show. More to come. And the people have spoken. They love what they're seeing from Sergio and the Fireballs. Stay with us. Now, we've had so many incredible moments from round one. Let's take a look at some of our top shots as we enter into our Super Saturday. Pat, and I want to get your opinion too. I want to know which one you love. Let's start with Martin Keimer. He takes an aim from the 5th fairway. Second shot.
Beautiful swing as always.
And gets it close, just like that.
Just what Jerry was talking about, controlling the spin.
Makes it look easy. Euban Jang, another second shot, this time at 8.
I tell you, he needs a lot of these shots in the next 5 rounds, let me tell you.
That's for sure. Freeze frame, sticks the landing. Good job, Euban. Love that. Next one coming from our guy, Phil Mickelson. A little bump from the edge for his second shot at 13.
He's done that about 1,000 times in his lifetime, so that's just routine for him.
Skips it in there from Phil. Lucas Herbert from Ripper GC takes a tee at 17. Almost gives us something to go crazy for. That's beautiful. All right, here's Sergio Garcia, captain of Fireballs GC, from the fairway, his second at 5.
One of the best wedge players you'll find in the game. No surprise there.
And no wonder he's hanging at the top. That's ridiculous. That dude is incredible. Here's Caleb Surratt, Legion 13. Young Caleb with a long birdie putt on 6.
Obviously not his best wedge shot, but a shot like this, a putt like that, always makes up.
Slow and steady wins the race. A lot of incredible top shots from Friday. Do you have any favorite moments from yesterday, Pat?
No. Not really?
Kicking Jerry off the set, maybe?
Kicking Jerry off the set. That's always my favorite thing.
I knew it.
Every day.
I knew it. And here's a post from Majestic's captain, Ian Poulter. Okay, then, we go again tomorrow. Time to pull my socks up. Definitely a great fashion choice for Ian Poulter.
He always wears his socks high.
But Ian Poulter, he's in a tough spot. I believe he's 51st in the standings right now, facing relegation.
All 3 captains are facing right now. They're all in the zone as of live scoring.
You know, what does a pro like this? You know, he's a seasoned guy. What mental adjustment does a guy like this have to make in a moment like this?
I talked to him this morning. You know, like I said yesterday, he does what he's supposed to do. He works hard. He doesn't drink, doesn't party, doesn't do anything. He's just not getting the results that he wants. And again, he's playing against a lot. We're 49. It's harder for us to beat kids that are 25. Now, he just has not gotten the results that he's looking for. It's nothing to do with that, other than the fact that like Valderrama. Valderrama, if he didn't make 8 on the 16th hole, he would have gotten enough points to get out of the zone. It's just a little bit. It's unfortunate. He just seems to have that one hole each week that kind of just kills him. And that was one that he was 7th place when he made 8, and then he just couldn't recover from. There's just not enough holes left. But all 3 Majestics, they're phenomenal players, world class, played a ton of Ryder Cups, won all over the world. They just have not been able to get something going this year.
I mean, Pat, you've been in this situation before. You know all about the pressure, and you've played through pressure. You've won through pressure, right? If you're Ian Poulter right now, put yourself in his shoes. What do? You wake up today. What's the best course of action for him?
It's just the same. He just got to hit shots and make putts. There's no other way around it. You can talk about it. You can do it. It's really that simple. He's got an unbelievable mind. He thinks so well, which is why he was such a dominant force in the Ryder Cup. But it's just unfortunately not translating to this week. I mean, he shot 3 over again yesterday, so he's in another hole. He's going to need 2 phenomenal rounds to try to get some points to get out of that. His mindset is always the same. He thinks he's great. He thinks he can pull off any shot. He can play well, and that is a huge thing. But now it's just time to go do it.
You mentioned pressure. How about Mito Pereira, a rising talent, under a lot of pressure this week.
He has a lot more. You know, I think he has more than Majestics, to be honest with you, because, you know, he's not a captain, and, you know, they all have the same, don't get me wrong, but Mito, you know, he's been trying all year, and the Torquay wanted him on the team so bad, and he just hasn't been able to do it. But these next 2 days are huge for him.
Yeah.
He got himself in a good position yesterday, but the weekend is obviously the toughest thing. He's got to play like he did the next 2 days. I don't know what he did yesterday that was different, but he's got to continue that for 2 more days.
The good news about Mito is he's got a supportive team. They have such a great rapport as a team. It clearly looks to me like they all want him a part of the team. How much would you say that helps him, especially his mental?
They want it more than he wants it. You know, that's the thing. But again, he has to go out and do it. You know, they don't have to harp on it. They were all having dinner last night in the room, and, you know, they're all joking and having fun and laughing. But again, he's got to go out today. The conditions are going to be harder today, so he has a huge day ahead of him to get him in position tomorrow. Yeah. Today is more important than tomorrow because he's got to get in position. If he goes out and shoots 3 or 4 over a day, it's going to be almost impossible to get him back up in the point zone.
Well, let's do a little dive into some more details. We're going to now toss it over to Dom Boulay and Suen Hang as they give us more details on the guys fighting for the lock zone.
As riveting as the individual title race is, well, Dom, there are other players who are holding on to dear life and their careers, specifically the lock zone. There are no guarantees on this league anymore. The only way you get that seat is to be in that lock zone. One of those players who are not in there is Harold Varner III. He won in D.C., obviously a fantastic player, didn't have a good season last year, 43rd in the standings. Now he turned that around, found some form with his ball striking. He didn't play well yesterday. In fact, he lost strokes off the tee and gained on the greens, which is a bit of the opposite from what he's done. But he needs a good weekend to get himself in that zone.
Certainly does. And Cameron Tringali is in 25th spot, 1 spot away from being safe. In 11 events this year, he scored points 8 times, 3 top 10s. He's actually one of the most consistent players out here on our league. Now, the big question is, if he doesn't get into the safe zone, will Phil Mickelson decide not to re-sign him? I just can't believe it. He's one of the most consistent players, but it's got to be on the back of his mind. It's the next couple of weeks, it's going to be, you know, really tricky and very important for Cameron Tringali.
Big thanks to Dom Boulay and Suen Hang with that insight. And there is a beautiful sight of the Bolingbrook Golf Club. We're just moments away from our shotgun start.
Good Charlotte tonight.
I got some news for you, though. Oh, by the way, Good Charlotte is going to be incredible. More good news. We got Pat Chat.
Oh, boy.
That's when you supply the chat. We supply the Pat.
Here we go.
These are fan-submitted questions that you have to answer completely honestly. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Our first question for you today, Pat, is, drum roll please, from a fan. What's the hardest truth about golf?
That's kind of a tricky question.
That's a deep one. I like that one.
Hardest truth. That is a stumper. Shark Res 4.
First time you've ever been stumped on the pre-show. You got nothing.
The hardest truth is, I guess, would be, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I think we're going to keep that as the answer. That's the answer right there. Here's the next one.
Maybe assessing your game truthfully.
Okay. All right. Why are you such a G, though? That's the next question, actually.
I'm not, but I appreciate the question.
I don't know. I think you're just a good guy. That's why you're such a G. Pat, can I borrow $1? I actually submitted that question. I'm running a little short, if you don't mind. You got $1 on you right now, or what?
I don't carry money.
You just no, nothing from Pat Chat this time.
You can, of course you can.
Completely stumped Pat in the Pat Chat. Great job to the fans. Unbelievable. Pat, we love the Pat Chat. And, you know, I love how you engage with the fans and everything like that.
They yell at me all day out there. I love it. They're screaming at me all day. They ask me questions all day. I love it.
All right, we got more to come here on the Club 54 pre-round show. Stay with us as we get some final thoughts from your favorite, Pat Perez. All right, y'all, there's no time like the present to sign up for the league's loyalty program, LIVX. You can keep up with the news and information about the league's 13 teams and your favorite players. There's also fun, interactive games to keep you entertained. It's all through the LIVX Hub on the LIV Golf app. Make sure you guys sign up today. All right, it's now time to toss it over to the boys in the booth. They're back with some insight on all things LIV Golf Chicago. I would say they're the best dressed, but I think me and Pat got the job done today.
I'm going to agree with you. I definitely. But David does look good today, though, I think.
He does.
He does.
Arlo, David, to you.
Another beautiful day at Bolingbrook Golf Club, about 35 miles to the west of downtown Chicago, and another bumper gate expected today. And why not, David? We've got the subplot of Jon Rahm trying to hunt down Waco Neiman for the season-long title. But one look at the top 8, you've got 6 major winners there. That's why so many thousands, I'm sure, are turning up today.
Yeah, I mean, viewers have got a choice of where they're going to watch golf this weekend. Why would you not watch here? You know, look at the Johnson, Garcia, Rahm, Mickelson, Koepka, DeChambeau, Hatton, Burmester, and Gooch. That first 9.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So it should be a great Super Saturday. That top 8, 6 major winners with 18 titles between them. And let's not forget a certain Phil Mickelson, 1 shot off the lead. We'll have the call at the top of the hour.
Thank you, Arlo White. Thank you, David Faraday. Pat, I want to talk more to you about the competition. We know a lot of guys are fighting to win the title, but there's also guys here, as we discussed, fighting for their career.
They are.
For those who are watching who may not completely understand, I would love for you to explain, as we look at some of these guys in the open zone, just break down the lock, the open, and the drop zone and how it all works.
Well, obviously the lock zone, the guys that are probably about 20, well, not even 20, probably 19, 18 right now are probably safe for next year. The guys from really 20 to 32, those are the guys that have a lot of pressure this week to get in the lock zone. The guys that are below that really need a great weekend because the points just aren't that heavy, you know, past like the 16th spot.
Yeah.
So these guys right here, like Matt Jones has, you know, he has to play phenomenal this weekend, and he didn't play good yesterday, so he's really he's up against the wall there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Matt Jones from Ripper GC. Is there a chance at this point for him to deliver? We know he plays so well under pressure. He's trying to get into that lock zone. Is it at the point now where it might be impossible to do?
He has to play incredible. He has to play his best 5 rounds coming up in order to get in that lock zone. There's no other way around it. He knows that. He won't really talk about it, but he just knows.
Yeah.
I mean, he played terrible yesterday, so he has so much to do in the next 5 rounds to get enough points to get in the lock zone.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Cameron Tringali before we get out of here? We've got a couple moments left. Any thoughts on him and where he stands?
Same thing. You know, he needs a good weekend. He's going to need a good week next week. Next week's going to be, you know, these guys can set themselves up for next week, but they really want to get done this week, and that is to be the hard thing. If you played well or terrible yesterday, you know, you're just going to need, I mean, really you're just going for it.
Yeah.
There's no laying up. There's no, you know, well, maybe you need to get the ball in the hole as fast as you can. It's like a shootout for yourself, whether you can get on a run, but if you make a mistake, it's like, well, we got to keep going for it.
A guy we haven't discussed today, which is crazy, Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
I know mathematically he still has a chance to win the individual championship this year, but it's almost impossible for him.
It's almost impossible, especially as well as John's playing. I see John being there again at the end. He won here last year. I see him doing it again. You know, I know there's some, like I said, there's some major players up there, but John's the most consistent. Some other guys have not played well this year. Sergio hasn't played well in a while.
Yeah.
You know, even though he has won and, you know, he's a phenomenal player. I get all that. But Rahm is the most consistent guy. Won here last year, has all the confidence. You know,
I'm rooting for him, though.
I am too.
I'm rooting for him. It's going to be fun.
I'm pulling for DJ, to be honest with you, just because I want to see him actually get it done.
Let's take this last look here at Sergio Garcia as he gets warmed up. He's a great, right?
He's a great.
Something we don't need to tell the
Most
fans.
Ryder Cup points in history.
What's he got to do this week to keep this up?
Well, he's a phenomenal win player, so he's not scared of these conditions at all. Played well yesterday, obviously didn't finish the way he wanted to, but I see Serge, when he's in this position, he doesn't really falter. Serge continues to go. You know, he is not afraid of this moment. He's not afraid of the guys he's playing with today. He's beat them all. So he is not afraid of what he's got ahead of him.
Before we go, any dark horse, who's going to go low today, Pat?
If I knew that, I'd be in Vegas betting on him. I can never guess that. No chance. I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hopefully P. Reed. I always pull for my boy P. Reed. I hope him to play. I want the aces to climb up that board. I want the aces to get that win this year.
Well, we want to thank all of our viewers for watching the Club 54 pre-round show. We're just moments away from the shotgun start. Sergio Garcia and Dustin Johnson lead the way with 6 incredible chasers on their tail. Names like Phil Mickelson, John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka. It doesn't get much better than this. We're just moments away from LIV Golf Chicago. The main coverage is next, and then after that, we'll see you on the post, baby. I only got one more thing to say. You got me, Pat?
Peace.